We're here. We made it. So good to be here with you.
Thank you.
You were just at Regenerative LA a few days ago.
Yeah.
Great to connect there. It was so inspiring to hear you speak about all the projects that you're working on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
The little we got. And this
Yeah.
is like the catch up to fill in the gaps.
Yes.
Great.
The evolution, the progress. Yeah. Yeah, do you want to share a little bit about what you're...
Sure. Well, my name is Scott Vineberg.
Yes.
And, community engagement has been a thing for most of a lifetime. How do we work better together and use communications frameworks to do that better? Coming out of the Socratic dialectic in a school that I went to in college, which was all about council-based learning with original source text, no secondary sources, just Plato, Aristotle, Euclid, Einstein, direct, and then we had to unpack it together. And just that as a framework, my choice of that college over Brown or Ivy League, whatever, was because I knew that there was something about co-intelligence that was just irresistible to me as someone who wanted to speak and be heard, but also just wanted to hear my peers and not have it go through one person. And then it's been a sequence of, career choices, nonprofit and for-profit along the way, mostly facing consumers, that brought me through a career and a whole bunch of stuff to finally be like, okay, I want to apply the best of my legacy energy. I'm turning 60 in a week.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Towards Super Solutions, Feb 28. So it's really about like, how do we discern what Buckminster Fuller called the trim tabs? So there's a whole bunch of solutions, millions of solutions, from like how to put your socks on better to how to deal with the recycling to how to build an eco-village and how to do collective intelligence. These are each solutions, but they're of a different order and class. Some are so catalytic that they unlock everything else, and some put a little patch or a Band-Aid on the thing. In a way, they're all important. Like the case study of Topanga, urgent needs need to get covered post-fire. People have lost their homes, we're helping them, right? But how are you gonna prevent that fire from happening? How are you gonna prevent systems collapse from collapsing us? That's by having the super solutions, by having superpowers for our communities as the priority. Education, obviously, if everyone is a better player, we play a better game. And if we have better co-intelligence or community intelligence, we play better together. Better team play, better players. We do everything better with just those two. There's other super solutions out there, but those are like the mega. And so how do we popularize at this point, diving in for the last 3 years to the field of co-intelligence, which includes community assemblies, councils, participatory budgeting, or just getting people together in council to get to know each other, much less to solve problems. How do we make that popular? Because the best practices that I've found are tremendous. They can take any group of people, polarized, divided, anywhere, and find a super majority of them who will get along and find their common ground priorities and then common ground solutions that satisfy everyone's values and needs. And the stuff that doesn't have agreement, we let go, but that way we get stuff done. So how do we popularize that? I was just off a call with the Inter-Movement Impact Project, a network of thousands of organizations that want to promote better community engagement and democracy, but no one knows about this movement, just the insiders. So my job right now is to popularize community intelligence, community engagement in its best practices as much as possible.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
What is the name of this organization you just met?
IMIP is the Inter-Movement Impact Project, which is just like a complicated name for someone trying to take the civil rights movement and movement building strategies and apply it to building community resilience and connection.
I love what you said about like collective community intelligence, because there's so much more power when we come together in unity.
Yeah.
Because that's what sparks the next, insight from the earth that like, oh, this is how we need to move to the next thing. And so it's really nice to hear you share all these things, especially with the common ground and finding the common ground. That's what I received from Bashar at Conscious Life Expo, was that, because I asked him, how do we build a super ecosystem, a platform, a network of networks to help humanity thrive, help nature thrive all in one? And he was like, he basically said, show them that their visions are the same, like let go of the difficult, like, of the separation aspect of, what's different, but show people the commonalities, the common ground. And so, he said, go to everyone, ask them, what is your vision? What is your goal? Go to the next person. What is your vision? What is your goal? And then
100%.
So it was quite amazing. This moment to experience. I felt like I was talking to God or the earth, or, just like this direct channel to be like, just do it, keep doing it. And I've been working so long to continue to weave a network and to share the solutions of the regenerative movement and to help amplify them. My dream, the greater dream is to have our own, media platform that is well distributed so that we can, share the regenerative story, the brand stories, the films, the media. Like, we need a whole new Netflix that is like regenerative, So that's the bigger dream, and also just having an agency so we can provide these services, and also a builder program, a software where it helps people actually write down their vision, their mission, and also helps them create the story. Like, what is their past story? Because the world we know is created through story. And so if we can tune into our new story, that is also, I help people see how they're just like, they're an individual, but they're also the entire ocean. They are a drop in the entire ocean itself. So weaving our individual stories to this collective narrative that we are stepping into a regenerative world is so crucial and key to shifting this into, the global collective of regeneration. And then from there, also having a software that can, support that process, where we bring in the best writers and from our time right now that are also tuning into the collective narrative. Like Maya Zuckerman, she does work on, the collective narrative, shifting from the hero's journey, like as an individual, to our collective journey, because Joseph Campbell, he talks more about the individual versus the collective journey. Is like, we're coming together as a community, and so many famous, so many people like Gandhi and everyone is like, it's always been about the community will bring us together and will make change. It's not about individuals anymore, and it's so much more fun doing it together as well. And so right now I've been working on helping people activate their presence on camera and online. So creating content systems for my clients to start sharing their voice more, because right now we're in an age of like, attention is our currency. It's currency what you're looking at. So thank you for tuning into this moment of this currency, and being able to share our voices online, because I'm excited to actually have more people join a group program, because then, like, imagine everyone's like sharing how all these reels of like their voice and their inspiration, then everyone can get connected to them, to their project, and learn about it, and then their voice is rippling out. So then we have this whole network of so many voices being shared, and then it's like, then it gets amplified, and it's like this whole ripple effect. So that's what I'm really excited about sharing right now.
Regen Media Network.
Yeah.
Right, literally,
Yeah.
and where it's like a lot of storytellers. Mm-hmm. Have you connected with Zachary, the red-haired guy, Marlo?
Yeah.
So he's also starting a media agency, similar aims.
Yeah.
I think he'd love to network in coalition with you.
Yeah, we should collaborate. I did a live with him a few months ago, and then we've been messaging this week. Saw him at the thing. And also, I'm working with someone new that's actually building a regenerative advertising network. This is my work right now. So I'm like so excited about this, because then we can start weaving this and distributing it better. And I think that I really want to share the message of like, not to shift our awareness around advertising, because it's been so coercive in the past. And yes, we can recognize that it's been used to manipulate us and to sell us things that we don't need, and to separate us. But now is the time to reinvent the wheel in terms of the way that we think about media and the way that we share ourselves online, because we have the tools in our hands, just the power of, taking, going live, as, I'm doing a 30-day live challenge right now, but you can just take your phone and take a picture or record a video and share your message to the world. And it's not about going viral. It's about sharing that message for that one person on the other side, to finding that one person that needs you, or that you need them, and you're asking for something that you need. And so there are so many layers in which that we're constrained by right now, because it's so volatile. The media platforms right now suppress our creativity. They're all about just sales. And so I really want to just throw that into the water, like let it compost, because their tools are here. So still to use the tools, help. I really want to help people that are like, they don't want to use the traditional tools right now, but we can make so much change using them. Yeah. I can't tell you the amount of connections I've had through Facebook just by posting a group, whatever it may be, messaging the right person, writing the right story post, and the right person messages me for that exact thing that I need, right?
Exactly.
Same with LinkedIn. LinkedIn has transformed as well. It's not just for employees. It's actually the best place to promote your business because people are looking for information there. They're looking for education. They're looking for solutions. Whereas like all the other platforms, they're like Instagram, Facebook, they're more scrolling, right?
Yep.
Versus LinkedIn is looking for information, but it's not always selling you something. So if you share about your business there, it's actually valuable because people are like, oh, this is valuable information. I'm going to continue reading this and maybe click more into it, you know?
Each of them has their advantage. I think, you know, there's no use to me in going head to head with the network effects. You know, they own their communities already. So there's advantages because Facebook has 3 billion people in there. Instagram has 1 billion people. It's really hard to nudge your way in with a new pro-social, regenerative social network, for instance. And to replicate what any of the big players are doing, you just like fight this big battle with existing advantages of their whole network. That you can't just build another network. The gap that I feel is the strongest is specifically solutionary media, regenerative, solutionary, collaborative media, so co-intelligent storytelling, where you weave it together, or we create the truth and the take on today's news. Instead of just being you or me, we have a council, right? And the council has some like amenable MAGA, some traditional conservative, diverse mix at the table to review stuff and come up with solutions that answer everyone's perspective. So you can use the collaborative intelligence to inform media and then have a platform that's just about solutions that propagates, or it's a network and a brand that propagates through all the existing networks. And then where I believe, you know, the missing piece for having these systems really work for us is instead of marketing, which is pushed to everyone everywhere all at once, it's the idea that if we have really intimate profiles about ourselves for what we like, love, and whatever, and we trust where there's a place where we can put that, and that doesn't exist yet, then we can get all the news, information, events filtered to us in a personalized way so that it cleans up the big WhatsApp, LinkedIn mess and just really gives us our juicy distill from that whole world.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist yet, and that has to belong to us because I won't trust putting my data and my profile with OpenAI or Facebook or any of these jokers. So where is that entity that lets me do personalization like intensely? And it starts with a community that are dedicated to regeneration, personal development, so that's the culture.
Yes.
That
That's the
sets,
framework.
That's the framework
Yeah.
in which other people join and say, oh, I can get a better life and more fun and do good and connect with community and join a problem solving group. If that's the culture for the new, you know, instead of marketing, personalization world, then that
Into information.
brings our whole regenerative transformer community into something that doesn't exist yet, a marketplace for peer-to-peer offerings. That doesn't exist in Facebook. That doesn't exist in LinkedIn. There's no place for peer-to-peer services and offerings to have like a Facebook marketplace, but for our solopreneur stuff in our community. So Topanga, there's hundreds of masseurs and workshop leaders and ceremony leaders and problem solvers and designers and everything, and we don't even know who's there in our community. We don't know who's here in Culver City. You know, unless you do LinkedIn and conventional career path, but for everyone else doing stuff, it's not in there. So this is where I feel like there's the technology piece of like a platform to give us the means to like exchange and strengthen our economic and our social connectivity, our economic and social capital within this movement. That one that works locally in places like Topanga or Nevada City or wherever, complemented by the media that shows what happens when you do this.
Yeah.
That combo.
Exactly. And what I'd love to see too is like, location based. Like I'm here at Culver City Hall. Hey, I'm ready to work. Hey, I'm ready to co-create. I put my status on. I'm like ready to lounge or ready to go dance, whatever it may be. And then like, hey, I'm here in Culver City. Who is around me? Because like I'm sure there's 100 people that we'd love to connect with right now, right here, but we don't know them. You know, so being able to do that as well. And there are so many platforms.
So that's why I wanted to check in with you about like which ones have you seen that are most progressed in terms of going in this direction?
I love what you're saying. It's like to be able to have the personalized like profile. So like I know what I'm offering. Like I really want to have that. You know, you send needs and offers. I was a part of a thing called Karma Tribe for many years, which is a gifting economy platform of people helping each other for free. So you could offer anything or ask for anything, like separate of each other. It wasn't like you needed to exchange those two things. It's like, hey, I need a place to stay, or hey, I can offer a massage, or whatever it may be, right? So it's all separate, and it completely changed my life. Like, it's, you know, and I was depressed in Mexico, and just actually that was the only thing that I trusted, because I was so anti-money, and I was like fuck the system, I don't want to be a part of this, right? And so that really like brought me through a full dark night and soul journey. But there are so many platforms now that are being created, but I think like what Bashar said, like what I asked Bashar too, it's like they're operating in silos. So one of my main points here is like, stop operating in silos. Like let's connect and share and co-create, and you know, because I literally know of 50 people trying to build the next platform. Like you said, we can't build that big, you know, and compete against them. We shouldn't be trying to compete against Facebook until we're really ready.
Exactly, until we're really big. Organized. When it's that big, it's organic.
We need to organize, like self-organizations. There are so many networks and stuff. We need to self-organize, but better link them together, you know? Regen B is one of them that I wanted to bring up, because Joshua Creative from Seeds of DAO, it's a regenerative business ecosystem. So they are doing personalized profiles, and they're working on the platform design. Again, also Unite is a platform by Shine Kelly. He's based in Vancouver. It's like a wellness events platform, and they do speed healing. So they're building an app right now for speed healing. Like you can basically offer your service for 10 minutes for free, and then people get a taste of what you offer. There's a lot of, there's quite a other few ones like Haifa, and I know you were mentioning Hilo, but like Seeds, Regenerative Economy, they're kind of in hibernation now, but also Seeds and Haifa and Local Scale, those are all built within like the Seeds network. And there are a lot.
Have you looked at Open Impact?
Open Impact, yes.
It's kind of crude for its UI, but it's like the complete toolkit.
Crude for its UI in what sense?
It's a very rudimentary user interface looking, but the engine underneath, the design is not modern design.
Okay.
You can roll past. Thank you. Thank you. But what Caitlin and her team have done is build project management, CRM, project template. So it's like a Slack, Salesforce, marketing, community event organizing platform, all in one, free, open source, and being deployed to help NGOs just operate their systems the way best practice funders want it, and to prove that they've done it. So it's proof of action, completion of action, authentication, verification, using blockchain type stuff, and all the community network and organizing stuff in one. It's just crude, but it's built the way that it needs to be built to do it with data agency and everything. It's already built. They're badass. They're literally, so it's Open Futures Coalition.
Yes, I've seen their pitch deck.
So Jamaica Stevens, who is also a Regenerative Eco Village pioneer and thought leader, with Caitlin, who worked in high level finance and stuff, and then got the gospel, we need to bring all these like super technologies that corporate uses, the Slack, the Asana, the Mondays, the Salesforce, but make it fully accessible, affordable, and interoperable at the NGO and movement level. So they're building it. It's like, but it's not ripened for easy use within community. Like WhatsApp is like the gold standard for how simple. Join, I'm part of it, I'm in a group, boom.
Same with Telegram.
But it's so noisy.
Yeah.
When you're in 20 channels, there's no personalization to filter that for me, and I don't want to keep up with 20 or 50 channels. So it's like this combination of using the existing stuff with some new interface. Anyway, good to track it. I'll check out those ones later. You're gonna have to send me a text on that.
Yeah.
And then the media piece, I'm curious, in terms of generating that regenerative network, media network, I mean, there's also an opportunity to cooperatize the network of media people who share this fascination and passion, the same as with the technology. So the Collaborative Technology Alliance is this group that's trying to bring together all the collaborative tech people. And where is the Solutionary Regenerative Media Alliance?
Yes.
Same thing.
Yes.
So that's a little, not even a white paper, simple deck and landing page to say, who wants to join us?
Yeah.
And create that co-op framework. Keep your brand, but be
Yeah.
listed in, co-promote, maybe go get funds together from like Knight Foundation, New Media, Collaborative Media. They're all over this stuff. Community-based storytelling and news. That's where the money is. And then when you do it this way, with an angle on how do we really reboot and re-envision a new story for our community?
Yeah.
That.
Love it. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting chilled. It's so inspiring.
Yeah.
It's so good to speak with you.
And I want your coaching. Like I can tell you, like
Yeah.
I'm excited to take Super Solutionary, which is my personal brand, and be like, how do we translate what I have in my heart and stuff to use the simple tech
Yeah.
to start to demonstrate it. So one of it will be like these interviews and spiels, but the other is coming to a town hall. And I heard this amazing story that validated this approach yesterday. Town hall, downtown LA, Topanga, wherever, a farmer's market. 10 chairs, maybe 8, camera in the middle,
The round table.
talking
the
stick
council.
mic, fishbowl in, today's topic, better education, Culver City, go. Maybe warm up the community with some community allies to say, what's the priority? What should we talk about? Whoever votes the most on this, it's this. Come and you can fishbowl in and actually do the problem solving and take that around California is what's pending for this summer and for maybe the next year is just to travel the state and do this. I met a woman from Switzerland, Rebecca Panian, who's doing something that she calls Von auf die 12. The 12 get it in English, the bang on 12, where she just said citizen assembly idea, which is like a big fancy thing where you do random selection of a representative mix of citizens. It costs a minimum of 150K to 250K to run one of these to problem solve youth homelessness in Oregon. They just did this, 250K. At a bargain, 150. And she's like, maybe we can do it a lot cheaper with an OWL meeting camera, 360 meeting camera, put it in in front of the Swiss Parliament, and then got like 30 people to join, of which they selected by little hat lottery 8 people to be in the circle, or 12 in that case. What are we going to solve today? Corruption in the banking system in Switzerland, and they go at it. She came to US, I brought her to my house. I was like, got to come down from Northern California, let's run one. And we ran one, and the topic that we chose was how to take AI for the benefit of humanity. And I like an hour and a half jam with kind of a random selection of Topanga people, and we knocked out, I think, a better understanding of what would be a sane approach to deal with AI than anything I've heard.
Nice.
So taking that around and giving people a taste of community intelligence, and then just building the muscle, the visibility, and the media from that to say, can't we do our government a different way? Can't we do our communities and our community organizations and our businesses in a different way, where it's about these processes of listening to each other and taking the time to figure out our common ground priorities and solutions? So that's where it's going. And then how do I tell that story and get sponsors in to be excited to be part of this, local agents to help seed their community as I arrive, something shows up. Those are the ideas right now that I'm percolating. And then parallel to that is like, eco villages. We need to get a breakthrough there, right? So it's like, that's going to be one jam that I'm just going to be promoting, is like bring together all the best allies in Southern California that I know to say how we're going to get our first one here, because there are
I've been
none.
envisioning, like dreaming of this jungle wonderland in LA, like more trees popping up and just like having this, wonderland of like the eco village community for a long time. So I'm excited to see that be birthed sometime in the next maybe 5 years, hopefully. We'll see.
Oh no, within the next year.
Yeah, the time is now. So I know that my camera is probably going to be shutting off, but I just wanted to touch on what you were saying, like the alliance. We did have some media alliance meetings recently, but yeah, there's so many, and I keep meaning to spend time. I need to put on my calendar, like building the network of all the people that I know, like Immerse Community, like all the storytellers, filmmakers that are doing already agency work. Iris Co-Creative, they do the web development for specifically regenerative, businesses, and there's a whole list of that whole network that I need to
That'd be so
download.
powerful.
Yeah.